Your cat trusts you. Or at least, they did. Research presented at the 2026 American Veterinary Association Conference by Dr. Monique Udell from Oregon State confirmed something that should make every cat owner stop and think. The way we behave with our cats directly affects their trust levels, their stress responses, and their long-term psychological health. Not occasionally, every single day. And the behaviors that cause the most damage are not the obvious ones. They are small, routine, well-intentioned. 7 of them. And I need you to watch until the end, because behavior number 7 is the one researchers describe as the most psychologically damaging of all, and the one that almost every single cat owner does without ever realizing it.
Trust in cats is not like trust in dogs. A dog forgives quickly. A dog resets with a meal and a walk. A dog's brain is wired for rapid reconciliation. A cat's brain is wired differently. Research at Oregon State University shows that cats require consistent, predictable, positive experiences to build neurological trust pathways, and that even a small number of negative experiences can begin to dismantle what took months to construct. Your cat does not forget. Your cat does not instantly forgive. Your cat files every interaction, every moment of unpredictability, every violation of their boundaries, every source of stress that carries your scent into a psychological ledger that determines how safe they feel with you. The question is not whether you love your cat. The question is whether your daily behaviors are building that ledger or quietly destroying it. Pay close attention to number 4, because that one contains a truth about how your emotional state affects your cat's nervous system in ways you cannot see.
Behavior 1. Forcing eye contact. Most owners do this with love. They hold their cat's face gently, look deep into their eyes, and feel a moment of connection. Their cat feels something different. A 2025 study published in PLOS One confirmed that cats use olfaction and visual recognition together to process the safety of a known person. When you force your cat's gaze, when you hold their face and stare, you override their ability to process that safety evaluation on their own terms. In the feline psychological framework, sustained direct eye contact from a position of physical restraint registers not as intimacy, but as confrontation. Your cat's nervous system does not know you are expressing love. It knows it cannot look away. And a creature that cannot look away is a creature that has lost control of its most basic threat response. The correct approach is the opposite. Offer your gaze softly, blink slowly, then look away first. That sequence tells your cat, I am not a threat. I am giving you the control. You decide what happens next. That is how trust is built in the feline psychological world, one voluntary interaction at a time.
Behavior 2. Being unpredictable. This one is harder to fix because most people do not realize they are doing it. Oregon State research confirms that cats build trust through pattern recognition. They learn your schedule. They learn your sounds. They learn the difference between the footstep that means you are walking past and the footstep that means you are coming to them. This is not simple habit learning. This is a sophisticated neurological process in which your cat builds a psychological model of who you are, based entirely on what you consistently do. When that consistency breaks, when you come home agitated some days and calm on others, when you respond to their approach with attention sometimes and ignore them other times, for no discernible reason,
when your emotional availability varies without pattern. Your cat's psychological model of you becomes unstable. And an unstable model means an unpredictable world. And an unpredictable world is the precise definition of an unsafe one. Your cat does not need you to be perfect. They need you to be recognizable.
Behavior 3. Touching them when they signal stop. A University of Adelaide study, published in September 2025, found that the single most consistent predictor of trust erosion in cats was repeated physical interaction after the cat had signaled discomfort. The signals are always there. Tail tip twitching. Skin rippling along the back. Ears rotating slightly backward. A subtle shift in body weight away from your hand. These are not random movements. They are a precise feline vocabulary that says, clearly and without ambiguity, this is enough. When those signals are ignored, even with the best intentions, your cat learns one thing: that signaling discomfort does not change what happens next. And a creature that has learned their signals do not work stops sending them. Not because they are comfortable, because they have given up on the possibility of being heard. Think about what that means in the context of a relationship. Imagine telling someone you are uncomfortable, and they continue anyway. Not because they are cruel, but because they did not notice. That is not love failing. That is attention failing. And your cat cannot tell the difference.
Behavior 4. Quote, any form of punishment. This one is not debated in feline psychology. The research is clear, consistent, and has been replicated across multiple institutions over decades. Punishment does not work with cats. Not because cats are stubborn, because of how the feline brain processes cause and effect. Unlike dogs, who have evolved cognitive pathways that connect discipline to behavior correction, cats lack the neurological architecture to associate a punishment with the specific behavior that caused it. Unless the consequence follows within 1 second of the action, the cat's brain cannot form the connection. What punishment does form is a connection between you and the experience of fear. Every raised voice, every spray of water, every physical correction. Your cat does not learn what not to do. They learn that you are a source of unpredictable negative experience. And a source of unpredictable negative experience is precisely what a cat withdraws from. If this video is changing how you see your daily interactions with your cat, you already know what to do next. Subscribe to Cat Mystique. Because every cat has a secret, and we reveal them. Behavior 5. Disrupting their environment without warning. A study in the Journal of Feline Medicine identified environmental disruption as one of the top 3 triggers of chronic stress in indoor cats. But it goes deeper than rearranged furniture. Your cat has mapped every surface, every smell, every corner of your home down to a neurological level of detail you cannot fully imagine. When you move their bed, when you change their litter brand, when you bring a new piece of furniture into a room they had perfectly calibrated, you are not just changing a physical space.
you are invalidating a psychological map they spent months building. And a cat whose map no longer matches reality is a cat in a constant low-grade state of alert. Not afraid, not aggressive, just unable to fully relax. Unable to complete the psychological process of feeling safe. The fix is not complicated. Introduce changes gradually. Place familiar scented objects near new items before moving them. Give your cat time to remap before removing the old anchor points. Small adjustments. Enormous impact on their psychological safety.
Behavior 6. Bringing your stress into their space. This is where the 2025 research from the University of Bari becomes deeply relevant. Scientists tested cats' responses to human odors associated with fear, stress, and neutral states. The results were unambiguous. When cats were exposed to the scent of human fear, they displayed measurably higher stress-related behaviors, using their right nostril predominantly, activating the brain hemisphere responsible for processing intense threat responses. Your emotional state is not invisible to your cat. It is a chemical signal that enters their sensory system before you cross the threshold of the room. When you come home from a difficult day carrying anxiety, frustration, or unresolved tension, your cat already knows. They knew before you sat down, before you spoke, before you reached for them. And the way they respond to that signal, withdrawing, hiding, becoming distant, is not rejection. It is a feline nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do when the environment signals danger. You are not the danger, but your emotional chemistry can temporarily make you indistinguishable from one.
Behavior 7. The one researchers describe as the most psychologically damaging. Loving them on your schedule, not theirs. This is the most invisible of all 7 behaviors because it feels like love. It looks like love. It is love. And it is still damaging their trust. Here is what feline psychology tells us. Trust in cats is not built through intensity of affection. It is built through respect for their timing. When you pick up your cat because you need connection right now, when you approach them for comfort when you are having a difficult day, when you reach for them in moments that serve your emotional needs rather than responding to their invitations, you are teaching your cat something they will never forget: that your emotional needs override their boundaries. Every time. Research confirms that cats who experience consistent boundary violations, even gentle, loving ones, show measurably lower approach behavior toward their owners over time. They do not stop loving you. They stop trusting that closeness is safe. And a cat who has learned that closeness carries risk is a cat who watches you from across the room every single day. While you wonder why they seem so distant.
So, is your cat distant because they are cold? Because they are independent? Because cats simply do not bond the way other animals do?
The science published in 2025 and 2026 answers that question clearly. Your cat is not distant. Your cat is responding with perfect neurological precision to a set of behaviors that their psychological system was designed to respond to. Every moment of forced eye contact, every unpredictable emotional state, every ignored signal, every punishment, every disrupted routine, every room you entered carrying fear, every moment of affection on your schedule and not theirs. These are not cruelties. They are ordinary, human, well-intentioned. And they are speaking a language to your cat's nervous system that you never intended to speak. The good news is simple. Trust can be rebuilt. Research at Oregon State confirms that well-socialized cats require very few consistent positive experiences to rebuild what was lost. You do not need months. You need intention, consistency, and the willingness to listen in a language you were never taught. Now you have been.
The next time your cat watches you from across the room, do not read it as distance. Read it as a question. Have I given them reason to trust what happens when they come closer? That question is worth more than any answer any cat channel has ever given you. Because the answer is not fixed. It changes every single day with every single interaction. And it is entirely in your hands. Subscribe to Cat Mystique, because every cat has a secret, and we reveal them, one behavior at a time.